There's already speculation about Vice President Kamala Harris's political future. Will she run for governor of California in 2026 or take another shot at the White House in 2028? What we do know for sure is that until January 20th, she will continue to serve as Vice President of the United States. And today, she delivered a speech to young leaders on civil engagement and her hope for the future.
The story of America's progress, when we have made progress, in many ways is the story of people who stayed true to their ideals, even in the face of difficulty.
CBS News political reporter Nidia Cavazos covered that speech in Maryland, and she joins me now. Hey, Nidia, so you were there. You had the opportunity to experience the vibes. One of her first public speeches since losing her bid for the White House. I think it's not that surprising she chose to speak to younger supporters. What did you make of the speech and the tone?
Nancy, it's great to be with you. Like we were chatting just before this live hit, there was a lot of enthusiasm from the crowd and excited to see her again. Like you mentioned, it's one of the first times that we see her after her concession speech the day after Election Day. But Harris was there to support and deliver her message specifically to high school students, college students, and just overall young adults who are in one way or another involved in their local communities as leaders. And so her message to them was that they must remain leaders, that their leadership is now more important than ever. They must also remain civically engaged. And she tells them that they must remain in this fight, and what she calls it a fight for freedoms.
She's well aware that a lot of her younger supporters are disappointed with the way that the election turned out. Did she give any hint at all of what her next move might be?
We don't have any clear indication as to what her next move is. She didn't necessarily indicate it. You know, she's telling these students that they cannot give up and they have to join this fight and continue on. And she also mentions that, you know, there's been so many letters that she's received. And in these letters, she cites that people are very disappointed after November's election results. But she tells them we must fight on. But yet, many in the room, including us, were still wondering what's her next move. There's a lot of speculation whether, you know, she's going to go back home to California and run for governor, or is she going to wait until 2028 and yet another presidential race from her?
And when you talk to Harris confidants, they're really split, right? There are some who think that that would be a great platform for her to go back to her home state of California, run for governor of the largest state in the country. There are others who say that would be a step down. She should try to go run some international organization. What are you hearing?
The sources that we've been speaking to say that this is Harris's time for her to decide, and this is exactly what she's doing. She has time to think about what her next move is. Yes, she's going to be advised by many of her closest aides, consultants, donors, in fact, but this is her moment to take the time and really think about what's next for her. And of course, 2025 might bring us more answers.
There is time. After all, she only lost about a month ago, and she is still Vice President of the United States. Nidia Cavazos, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.